sometimes it can feel like we just have this long laundry list of passwords that we need to remember. And just one more subscription to add to the list and to the bills each month, right? So it's important that we choose software solutions that are going to fit the needs of our business. Welcome to the Action Taker podcast. Hi, I'm Lauren Cosgrave, and I'm a business coach. In this podcast, you'll find an action-packed look at the strategies, tactics, and mindset that lead to successful online coaching, consulting, and service businesses, even if you're a mighty team of one. Hello, Action Takers. Welcome to another episode. I'm so excited about this episode, guys. This is a question that I get over and over and over again. And today we're going to be talking about software and how do you choose the right software for your business. Make sure you stick around to the end of this episode. I will be announcing the winner of the giveaway for the Action Taker podcast. Thank you so much for the generous outpouring of reviews and comments on the podcast. It has just been so amazing to see the response. So make sure you check out the end of this episode. I will announce who that lucky winner is of the Action Taker coaching package that we have affiliated with this giveaway and the podcast. When I first launched my first business, it was a food blogging business. I was a food blogger for a couple of years, and that was my first foray into entrepreneurship. I guess technically you could say my first foray into entrepreneurship was my lemonade stand, but let's say this was my first online business, okay? And this was back in like 2009, 2010-ish era. And there were not nearly as many options as there are today, which has become a blessing and a curse for those of us that are online business owners. It is harder than ever to find the right software solution for you and your business, whether that be where you're going to host your website, or what password keeping software you're going to use, or what graphic design software you're going to use, or social media scheduling. We are overwhelmed with lots of competition, lots of options in the market. But I'm going to break down for you today my philosophies on choosing certain softwares and getting over that burden of just like, man, one more subscription for myself and my online business. Sometimes it can feel like we just have this long laundry list of passwords that we need to remember. And just one more subscription to add to the list and to the bills each month, right? So it's important that we choose software solutions that are going to fit the needs of our business. Now, one of my clients, we've worked really hard on like, what is the right web platform for them? Often it comes down to, is it Kajabi? Is it Kartra? Is it Squarespace? Question I answer all the time. So here's my philosophy on choosing software solutions. And the reason that it's so important that you understand this fundamentally is it's going to empower you to be able to make the right decision and know which option to choose, whether that's the pay for the year option or pay for a month option. Okay, strategy number one when it comes to choosing a software solution is who is the ideal client of that software solution. So let's use an example here of video conferencing software. I had someone recently ask me, I have this G Suite account. Why am I using Zoom for my coaching practice when I also have like Google Meet or Google Hangout as an option? Great, fantastic question. Now, I love Google as a company. They're fantastic. They're phenomenal. But their ideal product, their flagship product is Google Search. They are big enough, so is Facebook, to always be in the game of working as competitors for online solutions that come into the market, be that video conferencing software, social media platform, or some type of chat function. Google and Facebook are always going to be in that race, but it will not be their flagship products. One rare exception to that is when Facebook bought Instagram. That has become a flagship product of the company, but they retained that as a separate company, separate entity. It did not replace Facebook. Okay, so I recommend choosing a software solution that is their flagship product. And this is why Zoom has had such a gangbuster year in 2020, is video conference is their bread and butter. They started as a video conferencing company. They have been that way from the beginning, and they have not diverted from that mission of providing a high quality video conferencing experience for their customers. And it's why that I choose to use Zoom for my own practice, for my own coaching, video conferencing needs. Because it is a product that I know they are going to continue to focus on video conferencing as a core function of their business, which means their best engineers are going to be on it, which means that it's always going to be something that they're working on improving and listening to their customers. Okay, so tip number 1, make sure it's the flagship product of that company, not a add-on feature, to get the best support, to get the best, latest, and greatest features that are going to be, top of market. Okay. The second feature is, who is that company's ideal client? Now, you can find this by looking at their about page and learning a little bit about who likes to use their products. But it's not a great idea to say use Discord. If you're unfamiliar with Discord, Discord is a messaging app that is built for gamers. It's for people that are in the video game world and want to be able to communicate with their friends for video gaming. Probably not the right solution for a business chat software, because that is not their ideal client. They're going to be catering to people that have very different type of communication needs than those in a business work environment like Slack. That's another comparison there, Discord versus Slack, which would be the right option. Okay, so who is their ideal client, and does that align with you? Are you a part of their core market, and are they going to continue to serve people like you? Okay, so number 1, we're going to make sure that their product is their flagship product. Number 2, that we are aligned with their ideal clients, at least closely enough that we're not too far off from their ideal clients. And then last but not least, what I always like to research when deciding between software solution is, what is their origin story? This one can be a little bit tougher to find. I'm a tech nerd. I'm up on tech news. I get the email notifications. I'm reading tech news. I love listening to daily tech headlines. That just is fun for me. So I'm always kind of in the know about what new products are out there and where they come from, who is their founder and creator, and why it was created the way it was. Short of you being a tech nerd like me and being embedded in the world of tech news, you can do a little bit of research just by reading their About Me or About Us page on the website for the product that you're deciding between. Here's a good example for that. I like to use the Kajabi versus Kartra argument. So Kajabi was a platform that was built for coaches. They partnered with world-class coaches to build that platform, online course creators. That is their ideal client. That is their origin story. Most founders and companies stick with their origin story of those ideal clients. Who did they create the product for first and foremost? Tends to continue to be a common theme and thread throughout the lifetime of a software solution. Kartra was built with coaches, but more from that marketing aspect. Coaches that love funnel hacking. Coaches that do all kinds of marketing and finding ways that they can optimize their marketing funnels. That is what Kartra is, their origin story. That's where they come from. That's where they've gotten their funding from, and investments have come from people in that world that are more on the heavy digital marketing side of the things versus the high ticket coaching programs that have a structured long-term package associated with them, a little bit more of a sleeker aesthetic. So those are some things to look into. Now, if you take these 3 things into consideration, when you're thinking of this is definitely something you're going to want to do your homework on when it comes to those expensive subscriptions. And those that are big investments, like Kajabi and Kartra, they are multi-modal solutions, let's call it that. You can host an online course on Kajabi. You can host your website there. You can run offers. You can do landing pages. These are all things that you could go out and find a la carte in the market and have multiple subscriptions at smaller price points, or you can buy all in one. That's when it's really important that you take these 3 things into consideration. So let's summarize. Let's go back to the top here. What is their flagship product? Is this something that they will continue to sustain over the long term of that company, so that you're not going to wind up with a product that is getting dissolved and you're going to have to switch and pivot? Number 2, are you aligned with the ideal client base of that company? Is the product designed to support people like you and the work that you do? And then last but not least, what is that company's origin story? Where did they come from? What's their background? What is driving them? And does it align with what you're hoping to achieve in your business? If you check the boxes on all 3 of those things, I am really confident that you're going to find a software solution that's going to support you for the long term, not something that you're going to be changing 6 months down the line or shifting on. Let's shift into like choosing the subscription model. That's also something to think about. I always recommend testing out software first. You know, it's really enticing when we see that like cheaper price point to pay for a year. But when we are building a business, when we're like legitimate, like when we are serious about this, it is important to find solutions that are going to stick with us longer the better. And it is worth that smaller initial increased investment on the front end of testing the solution out. I always treat any new software like I'm going through a beta with it. Like that's what I call it. In my business, I'm going to do a beta test of this new software or this new subscription, see what it's like before I'm going to make that longer term investment to say invest with them for a year or longer. All right, action takers, I hope that this helped you. And now, drum roll, it's time to announce the winner of the coaching package giveaway. Thank you so much for your initial response to this podcast. I cannot tell you how amazing it has been to see this take off, and I'm hoping that it serves you. And I want to continue to do nothing but add value to you and your business growth over the long term through this podcast. So please give me lots of feedback if there is anything, topics that I can cover, things that I could do to help you along your journey of striving to accomplish your goals and dreams. Please let me know. So I did a random number generator and I picked a review, and the name that came up, you guys, you're going to have to reach out to me. And no joke, the name of this reviewer that won the coaching package, their username on Apple Podcast is Milk Mustache 1984. Okay, congratulations, Milk Mustache 1984. If you are listening to this episode, you have won the coaching package. You've won a 2-hour planning session and a copy of the Action Taker Planner Starter Kit with me. I will personally coach you through how to plan your next year, break that down into 90-day increments, monthly increments, and then break that into your weekly and daily goals. This is something I do with my private high-performance coaching clients, so excited to deliver that for you. You get a free year of Ends and Stens subscription, who was my awesome guest on episode number 2. Go ahead and check that out, The Real Moms of Entrepreneurship, if you haven't listened to it yet. And then my guest on episode number 3, Kayla Lyons, is offered a financial coaching session with her to help get your financial house in order. Milk Mustache 1984, you are the winner of that prize. Please email support@laurencosgrave.com so that we can get you your prizes. And last but not least, don't forget to join the Action Taker community. It's an awesome group of individuals, entrepreneurs and high performers just like you, that are striving for excellence and for success and to take their business from side hustle to careers. Head over to facebook.com/groups/Action Taker community. You can also just search the Action Taker community on Facebook. Would love to have you there. There's a special invitation to be able to also come join in on an Action Taker Elite coaching session for free. So I've got as much stuff as I can give you right now. You can go get the free guide at laurencosgrave.com/free guide and go join the Facebook group, the Action Taker community, so that you can join those of us that are working alongside you. And if you're up for it, come join us. Come check out the Action Taker Elite coaching program. See if it's the right fit for you. Remember, Action Taker, until next time, remember that normal is boring, success is inevitable, and action taking is always the next right step.